All right, viewers, welcome back. We are sitting in the crawl space. I have got about a third of the crawl space covered in plastic at this point. We have, if you notice, everything's a lot cleaner now. I went back with a second coating of plastic, redoing after all the water got in and after I got the sump pump set up. This here is going to change probably in this video or the next video. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but went to Home Depot the other day, got some 90s. We are going to cut it off there. I found a bit for drilling through brick and masonry. I figured I was going to have to get a rotary hammer, either rent one or buy one because I don't have one. I know a hammer drill is not going to be good enough, especially a cordless model, to do what I was going to need to do. But Milwaukee has these new, I don't know if they're new. Milwaukee has these bits. They're a diamond, what were they called? It's a hole saw bit, basically, but instead of having teeth like a regular wood hole saw, it's got a some kind of diamond texture on it. It's supposed to be good for like granite countertops and cutting through tile, and it's rated for concrete and brick as well. So it got me a 2-inch bit. So what we're going to do is drill a hole. Let the glare out of the way. We're going to drill a hole right here. I'm going to run this out, 90 here, out the wall, then 90 down into the drain, the grill opening for the French drain, possibly, or I might put another 90 at the ground and run it out about 2 or 3 feet in front of the house. Because it will be under the porch when I get to building that. So one of two ways. We're either going to dump it in the French drain or we're going to dump it just out in a spigot or a spout. So been under here, got all the nice plastic down. I'm walking around, rolling around under here in my socks because I don't want to poke any holes or drop any mud and dirt on the plastic with my boots. I've got the seams taped up so far that I've done. There is a special kind of tape. You're not supposed to use duct tape. Duct tape will not hold up to sealing this up. It won't deal with the temperature changes. It won't deal with the moisture, etc. So there's something, God, what was the name of it? It's, I can't remember the name of the tape, but Home Depot didn't have it. They did have this DuPont Tyvek tape, which should work. I did a little research online while I was in the store, and this the tape basically they use to seal the seams of house wrap. So hopefully it's up to the task of holding these plastic sheets together. I do have like a 8 to 12 inch overlap, which I think if you have, I think, a foot overlap, you don't even really need to seal the seams. Might be wrong, but yeah. So, got all that. I'm gonna want to go into the darkness. Gonna have to fire up the old Makita battery-powered work light here so we can see what we're doing. I have covered all the way to the back wall to the dining room, and I've got part of the way to the kitchen. And we have found some more headache, of course. We've got some rot in the kitchen floor. Looks like it's right under where the hot water heater and the refrigerator sit. Luckily, it's not into the structure. It's not in the rim joist. It's not in the joist. It appears to just be the subfloor, so pretty quick and easy fix. Just cut that section of subfloor out and put some new OSB subflooring down like we're doing here in the living room, and it should be good to go. That needs to go. That is the duct head for the old oil furnace that was in the house, and I don't even think it was ever hooked anything. I think they just stuck it under there and they planned to run floor vents. I don't think they actually did. They might have, no, they didn't, because there were the wall vents that you've seen in previous videos around like the fireplace, things like that. I guess that was an option if they wanted to run the floor vents too for the heat, but they never did. They didn't run the floor vents until the central heating and air was so horribly installed. But anyway, let's try to squirm, slide, and make our way under the house so we can, well, so I can give you a look at what I've been doing. So much nicer in this section under the living room. I can actually sit on my butt and my head almost not touch. Rest of the house, not so much. It's not horrible though, especially with the plastic down. I can basically roll over onto my back and slide around pretty freely. And with all the HVAC ducts down and not under that house anymore, well, they're not all down, but the ones this way, I mean, there's still all the rest of the ones in the house to take down. But anyway, without that in the way, I've got actually a pretty substantial amount of room to work. So I'm not too concerned with digging out the rest of this crawl space at this point because, yeah, I've got ample room. It's still tight quarters. Let me roll onto my back here so we can continue forward. We are now under the dining room and we will be headed towards the kitchen. Luckily, some of the insulation did not get wet and crappy under the dining room. Most of it's still in place because we didn't have a water issue under the dining room at any point, it appears. So a little bit of money saved. I don't have to replace every scrap of insulation in the floor, but yeah, there's a ton of it to replace. So, but every little bit helps that I don't have to buy. So that board hanging, that scared me when I saw it because I was like, oh God, there's rot in this rim joist or floor joist, because that was the sign I got when I opened up the living room that the floor joists were rotted because they were all hanging due to the rot. All the nails had fallen out. So anyway, this here is the line where the kitchen and dining room meet. This, I assume, was just never nailed in place correctly. It looks like they just barely missed the bottom of the rim joist and they put that block in there. So it looks like it wasn't actually rot, although the nails are quite rusty. I think it was just a really crappy put in place to begin with. But here's my new discovery. Here is the grandness of this house. More rot. This is, like I said, right under where the refrigerator and the hot water heater sits. That old galvanized pipe there, I believe, is either the feed or the exit of the hot water heater. The hot water heater in this house is the original from new, as far as I know. It's a odd little unit. It's built in basically to the kitchen cabinets. It's the height of the cabinets, and I don't know if they came white or if they were painted white to match, but it's an odd little joker. I looked all over this house trying to find the hot water heater, and finally figured out that's what that was. I'll give you a shot of it once we get back out of here. But yeah, most of this is solid, but now that I'm looking again, that area of that floor joist and that top corner looks like it's got a pretty good amount of rot in it. So hopefully we can get away with just replacing one joist if we have to replace it at all. But the rest of this looks pretty dang solid. And there's some mold and junk growing, but that's to be expected with any moisture getting in. And continues over here, and I'm sure continues over there as well. So I really need to hurry up and finish putting all this plastic down in the crawl space and cleaning all these vents and stuff out and all the bad insulation, so I can really crawl around under here and get a good look at everything. Because this is a surprise. I didn't know this was here, but like I said, it's not a terrible surprise because it's mainly just a subfloor as far as I can tell. Looks like no structural structural damage. Although, now that I look up, it looks like this joist does have a lot of cracking with the mold, so it's probably structurally compromised. So yeah, that floor joist will most likely be getting replaced. If not replaced, it'll probably get sistered, which to keep me from destroying everything around here. I'm probably just gonna sister this one for the ease of it, since it's hopefully just this, and I'm gonna check that one. It doesn't look as bad as this one though, but yeah, more fun.
So I'm gonna crawl back out of here and rejoin you when I get back topside.
All right, we're back topside, and here's that funky old hot water heater I was telling you about. So I'm assuming that's the issue with the floor, either that or the refrigerator from leaking. So yeah. So yeah, that's what we need to do is get everything completely checked underneath. Make sure we don't have any more surprises. So as far as I know now, we got the small spot in the kitchen, and we've got our area of, well, the majority of the master bedroom to fix. Like I said, I looked in the crawl space entrance, and looks like the back den and all back there is fine. So really just the corner, and the bathroom's good too. So it looks like this bedroom here in this corner and all the way to the kitchen are basically the only two areas we haven't checked yet. So, well, I'm probably going to call this a video. It's going to be a really short one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.